I'm Arlene Avakian. I'm the director and professor of women, gender, sexuality studies. You know, it's been 35 years with one name, and now we have to get another one, and I'm really glad, and we worked on it all these years, but it's just hard to say, you know.
And I'm Karen Lederer. I'm the Chief Undergraduate Advisor in the program, and I also graduated from the program. I got a minor in 1981.
So, what is your relationship to the program, and how long it is involved?
Well, I was involved as a graduate student when the Faculty Senate Committee on the Status of Women was considering a women's studies program. So it's more than 35 years. And then I worked as a staff person when I was a graduate student, and then when I got my degree, an MA in history, I worked as actually a classified staff person because there were it was another one of UMass's budget cuts and budget crises. So I was actually a classified staff person for a little while, then I was professional staff. Then I got my degree and I was a lecturer, and then I was a tenured faculty member. So I've had my whole career basically, it's been here in various.
And now you're the boss.
And now I'm the boss.
Oh, my relationship to the program. Well, I was a feminist activist when I was a student, so I was involved in a lot of things, like when women took over the Collegian, and I was involved in the women's peace movement. But I was working outside of the university after I graduated, and then I did something that's pretty rare, which is I answered a newspaper ad, and I got the job. So, and I've been working here since 1986, 23 years. And I've been an undergraduate advisor. I've had slightly different duties, but
Fun every minute.
every minute.
We have some strong history here. So, I know it must be hard, but what is one of your favorite memories of working with the program?
Well, while you're ruminating,
Go ahead.
this isn't really a memory exactly, but what's really nice about working with students is that the students are always really different. So I have memories of lots of students who came in with zany, incredible, intelligent, fabulous ideas. So I think that's the continuous flow of that, because that also makes me have to learn all the time. Because someone will come in and ask me something, and it's like, huh. Like right now we have a lot of people interested in sustainability, which 15 years ago we didn't. So it's kind of a new thing. So I think it's not a memory, but it's almost the memory of being constantly sort of surprised, or a little surprised.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
And that changes with the faculty as well. It's not
Right,
just
exactly.
the students, but younger faculty are coming in
Right.
now trained in women's studies.
Right.
Can you imagine that? I mean, we couldn't, the faculty who started this program were all trained in disciplines. So they had to kind of invent what women's studies is. So now, and I really do feel very strongly about feeling good that students take this major for granted. And it's part of what we talked about in the symposium about institutionalization of women's studies. There are problems with that, no
Or
doubt
risks.
about it.
Risks.
And
Problems.
risks.
Yeah.
Both. But why shouldn't women or students who are interested in women's studies have the same entitlement as people who are interested in history or biology? So to me, that's a great accomplishment that we have achieved. That our students think, well, maybe I'll major in women's studies, or maybe I'll major in history. When the program started, it was like a political statement. It was like you were putting your relationship with your parents on the line. You were putting your future career on the line by majoring in women's studies. I mean, it was a big deal. And we used to have forums like what to do when your father asks, what are you doing in women's studies? And students actually shared these stories with each other of how difficult it was to be a women's studies major. So those are the good old days,
But I just
and
want
it's
to say,
also the bad old days.
but we also hear that a little, but it's shifted a lot.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we still hear that people are still concerned about that kind of thing.
Well, given the political atmosphere that we've been in for the last 8 years, I mean, pre-Obama, it's no surprise,
I think it's also the liberal arts problem, whether you're
Right.
a history major, an English major, psychology, the parents might be concerned about what you're doing with
Jobs.
that. I do have a funny memory, though, that there was a lot of activity around affirmative action on campus, and a group of students took over a building, and they ended up spending the night. And some of them were our students, a lot of other students, and they called the office in the morning and they said, "We've been in the building all night and we're hungry."
And the other thing is that they wanted toothbrushes.
So I think I was there, and Anne was the director and was like, "We should go grocery shopping."
Yeah.
So you brought the food.
Well, it's hard for me to resist when a student says they're hungry.
And toothbrushes. They wanted toothbrushes and blankets, and stuff.
But I thought it was interesting. It's like, would you call the English office or the biology office
Right.
under these circumstances?
So as you know, the name change from women's studies to women, gender, sexuality studies. I'm wondering what you would think of that, or your thoughts behind that.
Well, I think it's great, and it took me a while, but what I see in the students, it took me a little while to grasp that for me, what felt really fresh and new about women's studies seemed like their mom's women's studies. So their relationship to the term women's studies was like, people used to do that, and that's kind of outmoded, and we don't relate to that. So once I understood that, I was really excited about it, because our students have practically uniformly loved it. Like, we just graduated people with it, and I said, "Oh, you're going to be the first with it on your diploma," and they were like, "Oh, good." And somebody graduated last year was like, "Can I get that on my diploma?" No. So that's been really positive.
Yeah, my take on it is, from much more from the disciplinary aspect of it and what it means in terms of the way that the field has changed, from an exclusive focus on gender to a more integrative, intersectional approach. So, but I really like the process by which we did it. We talked about it for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
We just kept talking about it, back to it, and talked about it.
And sort of tinkering
back to
with the
it.
words,
Yeah,
commas,
right, which-
slashes,
right.
and...
And then, we changed all the names of our courses to be more consistent with the name of the program. So, I think it's a really good thing, and it was a considered decision, and it was a decision somewhat in part to the response of the students that Karen talked about, but it's also where the field
Yeah.
is, and women's studies really didn't describe us anymore. So,
Last question. What are your hopes for the program?
I have a lot of hopes, and I have a lot of fears, given the current economic climate. But I do think that we have, the program itself has quite a lot of support, and as you can see from the people who are here tonight, that there's a lot of support for it on campus. But, there's bad times coming. So I hope that we're able to maintain the level that we have now. My dream would be that we could get larger so that we could expand our graduate program. That's my dream, but we'll see what happens in the next year. But we have tremendous support in the hierarchy of the university.
Yeah.
We are not, we're small, but we are completely enmeshed in the middle of what's happening in the college. So I don't feel that we're marginalized, and that's really important, and I think the result of a lot of work, not only of the program, but faculty around the campus. What we did, I think, to make that happen was we were always focusing on networking, getting our own faculty, but also networking on the campus, so that's really been a survival strategy of ours, very important one.
I was going to say something along those lines, that I think we can continue as we are and stay strong if everyone keeps being good at everything, because our faculty are good in their own fields, they're good in our field, our students are good, they win awards, so everyone, that seems to kind of protect us and make us strong. A very minor wish, but I have no hope we'll get this, is I'd like us to all be together on one floor with doors on our offices. Somebody said something about we didn't start in substandard space, and I thought, we're still in substandard space. It's our 35th birthday. But I mean,
Yeah, most departments have their faculty on the same floor.
We're literally
So
on
they run
every
into each
floor,
other.
every
We are
wing.
on every single floor in our building.
Alex
So.
is way in the basement.
Yep.
Yeah,
Alex is
Millions
spotty
on
in
the
the
other, Sarah's on the third floor. You know, it's just, but anyway.
I think, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.